Good morning and welcome to Fat Cow Farm. Now, this afternoon, I've finally got some time to finish off fencing this swale so we can get this planted out. So, I've raced ahead and I've got some posts in, I've got my stays in, I've got my mesh un-coiler here at hand, ready to rock and roll, because I know it's only going to take me 10 minutes. That's the best thing about it. So what I've done is I've tied it onto our stay here just in front of me. We're going to run our way out to the end of the swale. We can start getting this locked off. Now, this is only the first step. We've got the mesh that's going up. I'll have a top strainer wire going on top, and I'll have two hot wires, because later on what I want to do is actually introduce the goats into this swale and leave them in here for a week or so and just let them mow everything down, and then I can start planting out. So how good's that, mate? All good. I'm going to jump on the tractor. We're going to tension out the wire, get this mesh up and running. So I'll see you soon. Alright, Murphy's Law tells me I was 300 mil short of my next post. Ugh, doesn't that just drive you absolute bananas? So I've had to come back one. Now what I've done here is I've tensioned the mesh coil off the tractor, off our un-coiler. Now this is how I tighten it, the mesh off. So I've got that nice and tight. You can see that here. And what I'm doing is every second wire running through the mesh is then tied off, and then what I'll come back then and do is then the middles and then the top either side, and that way I can keep my mesh nice and tight running down the fence there, and we're home and hose, mate. How good's that? So let me finish this off, and I'll have to then go load up a new coil of mesh. Amazeballs, absolutely amazing. So anyway, it is what it is. So I'm going to be a little bit longer now, not so much 10 minutes, but we'll get there. So I'll see you soon. All right, so here we are. We're in front of our swale here that we've now finished fencing off. Now this particular swale, we needed to get the cows out because they were starting to damage all our banks and everything else. And what little ecosystem that we had here was always being destroyed with the cows walking through the swale itself. So they were using this as like more of a water source rather than going over to the troughs. So we've now finished all this fencing off. Now the grass is still quite long in here. So what I'm going to do as a bit of an experiment, I've got a bucket full of carrots and pears and apples and everything else. I'm going to go over to the goat paddock over yonder and see if I can bring the goats back while I'm rattling my bucket. Now, it's almost like I'm going to be Pied Piper. I really don't know how the hell this is going to go. So, because what I want to do is bring the goats in here, leave them in here for a week, get them to smash everything down. I can then take them back to their home paddock, and then I can start planting out. And that's what the objective is, so that before we come into winter, we've got everything established that we want. There's going to be a heap of rain, heap of water, everything's going to have a good kickstart, and then wait for spring to kick in. All right, so I'm going to head over. I'm going to go get my bucket of goodies for the goats. Well, hopefully we can bring a video. I don't know how else it's going to go. This is all just going to go pear-shaped, I can see it. So I'll see you soon. All right, my God, that was epic, absolutely epic. We ran out of treats halfway down the paddock, but we've got them in. So I'm hoping that, you know, within the next week or so, this whole area will be cleared up, clear of all blackberries and all the weeds and everything else. And this is why we got the goats. This was the whole intention of getting areas like this fenced off, bring the goats in, let them do what goats do. Now, we've got a few in front, we've got a few at the back. And we had lots of help. Next time we've got to put the puppy on the lead. So, I tell you what, we'll let you know how it all goes. So for the full story about fencing for swales, we couldn't film the herding. It was just too full on. Had goats running all over the place, had goats chasing cows, had puppies chasing people. It was just nuts. But we'll keep you informed on how we go. They're already starting to settle in now, so that's good. So for the full story, remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.